Hello, friends. This is another video, a great video. I hope you enjoy. Uh, it's about a rumor that has it that Star Wars Meg is a complete creation of the Disney company. Now, remember, these are rumors from construction workers after a few drinks in a bar, but they believe they have the inside track on this, and they are saying the rumor is that Star Wars Meg is a complete creation of the Disney company, and there's an inside joke for these construction workers that the Meg stands for Mike, Eugene, and Gary, the three Disney employees, paid millions of dollars to come up with these ideas, and they are behind the idea of creating us. They create the Disney company creates the perfect YouTube channel that they want, and then what they do is they go and through a second person and do it. So like how they control uh, the 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 press by saying, hey, they have uh, they have the press. Uh, they have like travel agencies. They give travel agencies $100,000 to the travel agency, and then the travel agency will go to like the Los Angeles Times and the Orange County and spend like $50,000 on each one. But they make it clear, if these Los Angeles Times and the Orange County Register, if they want this $50,000, they have to say exactly what Disney wants. So it's a Dis. So what the Los Angeles Times and Orange County say is a Disney creation, but it goes through a second party. It goes through a travel agency, and then here, uh, again, it's the same thing. Uh, the Disney company creates the perfect YouTube channel that says Disney is God, Disney is great, Disney is beautiful, Disney management should deserve millions and millions of dollars in pay. And so they create that, and then they sponsor another person to say that, and they give them all the information. That's what the rumor is. They give them everything that the YouTuber would want, and they give them like sponsorships and fake sponsorships like through Patreon and stuff like that. So these YouTubers get the money from Disney, and then they say exactly what Disney wants. Everything Disney wants, but it's like through a second party again. Disney is like cushioned, and 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 like so that's how I say the Star Wars is a complete creation of the Disney company, the marketing division, uh, and that's I we went through this before on different videos how Disney has paid the press. They have the paid press behind them. And like I said, the Disney company will give like a travel agency like $200,000 million, and they give it to the press. But the press is told by the travel agency, "Hey, this is coming from Disney. You got to do exactly as they say." Maybe even just ask them on what to do, and uh, uh, and that's how they control the press, and and then lately, uh, I've I've reported how the YouTube, like all these YouTube stations, they aren't criticizing Disney anymore, and I'm wondering, it was at the time when a lot of those YouTubers were saying, "Hey, Disney is reaching out. Disney is like I think gave them money. They gave them access to shows like The Mandalorian, and they just paid off the YouTubers that way. And all of a sudden, all these the Fandom Menace, a lot of YouTubers that who belong to Fandom Menace who really dug into Disney, uh, they stopped that. They don't even want to bring up Disney's name anymore, and that's how I think Disney bought off the YouTubers that were criticizing them. And now, on top of that, on top of buying the press like the Orange County Register, and this is what rumors and opinions, these are all rumors and opinions, remember, from construction workers after a few drinks in a bar. But these construction workers have been giving me some good information, okay? And now, okay, so the press, Disney has a press paid. Disney bought off all these YouTubers that were criticizing them. They aren't criticizing them anymore. And now, Disney marketing is creating their own YouTube sites. They're creating their own YouTube sites, by sponsoring people who will say what they want. And and I believe, and the rumors have it, that Star Wars Meg is a complete creation of the Disney company. If it isn't Mike, Eugene, and Gary putting these presentations about Disney, Disney Star Wars, uh, uh, exactly how they want it, and then they may be hiring the girl to speak over it. Uh, it if they aren't doing it themselves, I believe the rumor has it that they are sponsoring someone who will do exactly what Disney says, and this Star Wars Meg is one of them. And uh, and uh, it's just rumors and opinions, and it's my opinion. If these rumors are correct, the dirty Disney Corporation lives on stronger than ever. You know, they're just a mean, brutal capitalist company. They're trying to get as much out of the price of the products, and they're trying to squeeze out the cost. They're importing a cheap labor now, and they are just dirty. They don't think about like their workers, like their expenses, and their health care. They don't care about workers. They put tens of thousands of workers on part-time under 30 hours of work a week just so they couldn't just so they didn't legally have to pay them medical benefits. Now, but outside the unions, sure, they can say they're saying, yeah, the union workers, full-time workers, yeah, they get health care benefits, but when the dirty Disney Corporation has its own choice. It saw uh, the healthcare law come through, and they saw the loophole. They say if they can redesign their jobs so it's 30 less than 30 hours a week, then they don't have to pay them healthcare. And that's what they did to tens of thousands of people. They cheated them out of healthcare that the people who created the law of the healthcare law meant them to have health care, but Disney cheated them out of that. And some of the facts now, those are rumors and my opinions, but some of the facts that indicate that this Meg is not some English chick doing this on her own is that many times a lot of what she says is a commercial for Disney. It's a commercial for the Disney products. It's the commercial for the Disney shows. It's a commercial for upcoming Disney shows and products. And then if you look at like the last one that I watched, the Mandalorian season 2, she had a, a video on. Meg references so many different Disney products and with samples. Like she'd refer to this and this product, and then she'd have a clip of the show, and she'd refer to this product, and she'd have a clip of the show, and that is very professional, very, very, very professional. Uh, putting together a video that I have never seen before. And I'm sure if she's like uh, most of the YouTubers like me, who who even just do this on their phone, there is it's an indication that a professional Disney marketing company is behind her productions. Okay, and then the editing is professional. Oh my gosh, you see editing. It's like a smooth running commercial at times, and it's a smooth running you know a propaganda machine at times of how her show is not toxic. It doesn't have anything from the Fandom Menace, So everything on Meg's Star Wars Meg's videos is in line with woke. It's in line with what Disney wants. It would they want more people to get all their products, and it's a big advertisement for a lot of their products. It's woke, and then like anything from the Fandom Menace, they say it's toxicity, and they block it out, and that's saying that's toxicity, and you won't find any of that here. Now, who would want that? Disney Company. Disney Company would never want any like criticism in a production that they make for YouTube, and that's exactly what Star Wars Meg is. My gosh, that's the facts that indicate uh, that Disney is behind it. Uh, but the rumors and opinions are, there's been rumors through construction workers that this start. Look when Star Wars Meg started. It started right after they paid off, right after all these Fandom Menace YouTubers stopped criticizing Disney. Then all of a sudden, new YouTube stations popped up that were supporting Disney, and this is Star Wars Meg is one of them. It's right after you know all of the YouTubers stopped criticizing Disney and saying we have something else that's more important or whatever. But they wouldn't even mention they didn't want to even mention Disney anymore. And then in just like a few months before that, they were they were passionately putting down Disney Star Wars and how it's all bad and all their shows are bad and all the cartoons are bad and everything is and then and instead of passionately criticizing Disney, they started saying, "Oh, Disney is said they're going to stop being woke," and and that's why I say all those YouTubers were bought off. And then right after that, look, Star Wars Meg pops up. Star Wars Meg pops up, and it is her productions are better, have to have big equipment behind it, big money behind it. There's a lot of time behind it, referencing all those shows and getting perfect clips and even perfect clips of upcoming shows. uh, I just that all indicates that Disney is behind it. But these are rumors and opinions. These are all rumors and opinions. But if true, Disney has not backed off from woke at all, and has gotten even dirtier. They are lying, essentially lying to people. That's this is There's a YouTuber out there, uh, you know, that's saying exactly what they want. They have the YouTuber, they're doing exactly what Disney wants, but they're giving the impression that it's not them. And that's sort of lying. It seems like it'd be lying to me. It's another, in my opinion, that's a dirty mark of a dirty company that the Disney company has turned into. And if they aren't actually, if their Disney marketing isn't actually creating these YouTube commercials, then which I would be surprised, but rumor has it they are behind it somehow. It's their creation, and their history of creating stuff like this is they'll go through a second party. They'll go like they'll create what like the Los Angeles Times and Orange Counties is supposed to say, but they're creating what they want these YouTubers to say, and then uh, you know they're giving them the money through a third party, like they donate to uh, they give it to somebody, and they can become like a Patreon supporter of Star Wars Meg. So it's like Star Wars Meg will have probably Patreon supporters, who are doing exactly what Disney tells them to do, and and then uh, Star Wars, and then Disney goes directly to Star Wars Meg, or their Patreon supporters do, and say, well, you got to do what Disney says, and they'll help you with the productions, and on and on and on. But that is exactly what it looks like to me, and that's what's the rumors, and these are all rumors and opinions, but the rumors say Disney has stepped up their game, and there are no. I have not seen any YouTubers who want to go against Disney now, uh, and they bought all the old YouTubers on there that were criticizing them. They they bought that. It looks like to me they bought them off. Uh, and that I've heard rumors that they did. They did. Disney did buy them off with money plus access to these shows, and they came to an agreement, and they promised. I think they lied to these YouTubers that they're going to stop being woke, and that's not true. Uh, the head by their actions, uh, Disney has just hired the head writer of the all girls Ghostbusters that was so woke. People say it was so woke it went broke, and they hired her to write a new movie just right after right after they bought off all these YouTubers saying Disney was stopped being woke. So Disney has not stopped a thing. They are as woke as ever. They hired they are hiring new people who have woke backgrounds and who are preparing new woke movies, and and oh, it's just awful. It's just awful, uh, and it's just awful. And this is like a warning to all Disney employees. Okay, uh, you are fighting uh, for your life right now, and you are fighting a very dirty Disney capitalist company, in my opinion. And these rumors, if true, help back it up. And you know, uh, I tell you, uh, you got to fight fire with fire. Uh, I hope some Disney employees can pass this around, but you got to take this situation that you're in now, and you got to get like the minimum wage to $21 an hour, and you got to get the locals behind you, and you can get the locals behind you by making Disney lower the prices on their park tickets and their products. You got to make Disney bring back the great live entertainment. You got to make them locals and the unions and the workers will benefit from the new construction of the hotels and the new downtown Disney, some of them could be like union drivers on the trolleys, making the trolley system so that people can go to Disney and work at Disney without having that car. They just can take the trolley to work and back. So, you know, uh, it's uh, locals, workers, unions. We got to come together at this. Uh, Look at what we're against. Uh, Against a Disney company that is ruthless, that is pure capitalist. It's they in China. I wouldn't doubt if they if they hired child labor and if they hired slave labor. I wouldn't doubt that for some things, like they have auxiliary companies to like Shanghai Disney. This is my opinion. Like Shanghai Disney is going along, but they need suppliers and supplies and stuff like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if we find out, like 50 years from now, Disney was in there hiring kids, hiring slaves to supply cheap products for the Shanghai Disney, and that's another way how they got so they can make a profit like on 20% capacity. That's my opinion. I believe, can someone go in there and look it up? Ha, hardly, especially if they have the whole communist party behind them, you know, making a profit with them. It's going to be very hard to prove. But that's my opinion. It makes sense to me. Uh, but these rumors, um, also are so many. Uh, the bad behavior of Disney, it's like where there's smoke, there's fire, you know. But I tell you, woke has made them broke, and but still they're gonna go. They're still on their woke path. They're gonna uh, they're gonna provide some sort of uh, haunted mansion story that is going to be all woke. We know that for a fact. They must be working on other stuff. And guess what? You know, out of all this time that they own the Star Wars uh, rights, they have missed out on so many movies that could have made them billions of dollars because uh, they went woke. You know, this should have been like this year. Were there any big movies coming out? Nope, just The Mandalorian. I bet, even if with the pandemic, if they didn't go woke, they could have had two, three, four Star Wars movies coming out this year that would make them $1 billion. And guess what? They aren't making $1 billion. What a bunch of losers! I mean, Disney is ruthless, and and they're dirty, and they're dumb, and they are dirt, and they are have bad morals. Okay, and that makes for a very, very tough opponent. And but we can break them with this keeping the parks closed. If we keep the parks closed until we get what we want, then we can go along with them because we get something in exchange for it, right? We get for uh, exposing us to the risk of dying from the kung flu, from getting sick for a couple months. That would maybe make us lose our job because we got sick for 2 months with the kung flu. Uh, in exchange for all of that, we get, you know, the new minimum wage of $21 an hour, the lower park prices. We get the new hotels in downtown Disney. We get the trolley system, and we get great live entertainment. Now, that would be a good deal for some, but I tell you, there is no cure and there is no vaccine for this kung flu. Uh, if Disney is asking its workers to come back without paying them for that risk, that is not right. uh, if they are asking their workers to come back, not paying them for the risk of getting sick and maybe even dying now, and they don't even pay them for extra for making sure their guests don't get sick. Oh my gosh, you know, that's just not right. That you gotta, if you ask your workers to do more, you have to pay them more. And the only way we can force them to not be able to have to import workers is if we make the minimum wage the legal law of the land. Then we'll have a lot more, you know, power behind what we do. And that's something that you know, we have to try to go to Governor Newsom for. And I tell you, uh, with the many lives that he saved from the kung flu, how many people he helped from not getting sick, and then giving us like a minimum wage like $21 an hour, and then like and if it's all like a package deal, lowering the prices at Disney, you know. Uh, and you know, the great entertainment coming back, that would be, you know, you could almost say he'd be president of America. The way, if he could get that, if he could deliver that. But I think that's something we could present to the governor to help get us our minimum wage and our big five. We gotta we gotta fight the Disney company because currently, right now, the way the Disney is working, uh, They don't want the locals there at the parks, right? Uh, uh, our governor of California said it should be only locals who have low rates of sickness and who probably won't spread the disease so much. And the Disney just said, forget that. We want the foreigners who would bring us the disease. Less free spending foreigners who would bring us the disease and bring us sickness. That's who they want as the customers, and they could afford higher prices. Disney is already planning to raise their prices, even with cutting back their services, and that's going to block out a lot of locals, if not every local. And then if they had to fire 20,000 employees, so what? They're already starting to import cheap labor from Asia that speaks Chinese and Japanese and stuff like that. I bet they can go all over the world and get whoever they wanted to, uh, who could speak any language, to meet their high rollers who'd fly into Disneyland and then fly out, and who would fill up their hotels and fill up their restaurants and bars, and then buy all their merchandise and then leave, and then it's the locals who get stuck. Like if they need their if like all their traffic, they need new sidewalks and need new roads, we'll have to pay for it. We pay for it, but we can't go to the park. It's called the cocoon strategy of Disney. They want to cocoon the park for just their customers and their workers and their cheap workers, and so they can make as much money as they can. They are just ruthless and sick. Uh, they're willing to lie about, like, give you a false narrative, like on a YouTube, like who's giving you a YouTube presentation. It's not Star Wars Meg. It's the Disney marketing company, in my opinion, and that's what the rumors I've had said. Uh, there are rumors that there was these YouTubers at the time, they were all bought off. It seemed to me they were saying, "Oh, look, uh, we got even the Disney, some employees from the Disney company watching our comments and stuff, and and that's how some people are connecting uh, the people who monitored these YouTubers have put what they monitored at that time into some of their Star Wars Meg material. So there's a connection there. That's another thing, like sort of a fact that they the YouTubers that were criticizing Disney, they said, well, now they said to their fan base, they're saying, hey, you know, go ahead and talk and chat it up, and guess what? It's people from Disney are going to be monitoring this chat, and going to be looking it over, and you know, those were their exact words, and some of the stuff that was in those chats that YouTubers said Disney employees were monitoring ended up in Star Wars Meg's productions, and so that's that's sort of a fact. That's saying, Disney is behind a lot of these YouTubers. If they aren't creating a false YouTube, they are doing what they do as always. They like they give money to somebody, and that somebody gives the money to the YouTuber, and the YouTuber knows exactly that they have to do from Disney, and that's probably what's going on at Star Wars Meg. Uh, but that's the rumor that's going on with Star Wars Meg, and it's my opinion. It looks like it fits with the facts, of some of the facts, and some of the facts of how her productions are like top of the line productions. And I don't know about editing and all, but I bet a lot of you can see her editing and her references to so much. Must have taken a lot of time. That must have taken a lot of a high quality, experience, and a lot of high quality, expensive equipment uh, that that someone sponsored her with, from Disney. But it does. There's a lot of facts that say it does make sense that Star Wars Meg is a total production of Disney, whether indirectly or directly. But that's the rumors too. The rumors from these construction people, they have lunches sometimes with Disney employees at the same time. You know, it's just they're at the same place, and sometimes like in the bathrooms, or like there's an elevator that doesn't work, and everybody has to take the stairs or something, because of the power out and the construction things. They come in contact with Disney employees, and some of the Disney employees, they think, well, people allowed in this area are just Disney employees, and so they talk freely amongst themselves. While a construction worker can overhear what they say, and stuff. It's the rumors. It starts like that by construction workers who have given me a lot of good information that later turned out to be true. But we're just saying they're rumors right now, unsubstantiated rumors. And then how I say, like, the Disney is one of the ruthless, coldest corporations there ever was, who would love to have slave and child labor. How they maybe have it in China. Those are my opinions. It's open to Disney does have the opportunity in China uh, to do something like that, and it's my opinion that the morals of the people at Disney management would do such a thing. And then now you got to take that, and that's what you see your Disney management doing. And then you're a worker, and you're trying to get a wage that can meet all your expenses, and you want health care. It means you have to get 40 hours a week. You can't have 30 hours a week. And then you have to have like a minimum wage of $21 an hour. And how best can you get that? You know, uh, your union, unfortunately, is gonna Disney is gonna bust up your union by first of all, in my opinion, Disney is going to try to get everybody to say no more unemployment benefits. Okay, and then if you're in a union and you run out of unemployment benefits and you have to get another job, then Disney can say, "Op, you quit your job, and so you're gone." So that's one, and they're going to knock off one union worker after another, and then, but uh, I tell you. There's legal things that I don't know about and all, but I there's Disney management being paid millions of dollars to figure this out, and they figured out how they're gonna bust the union. If you look over our country, their union membership is way down. You know, for a union to score a minimum wage of $21 an hour, it's just not possible. It's there are corporations. It's like they have rich people allies in our Congress, in our federal government. Look at Trump. He's a rich guy, and he's all for uh, rich companies making a lot of money. And it's just to ask your union to get that for you is not going to happen. But what can happen is keeping the Disneyland parks closed and using that as leverage, and getting as you talk about safety at the parks. You talk to Governor Newsom about the safety at the parks. You talk about we need a good minimum wage, and you tell Governor Newsom, hey, this is how you can become president. You know, you can become president by supporting something like this. And we got to go throw out the old and get in the new. These people, these they like all through the Obama years, there were big hunking trade deficits. He let big hunking trade deficits. Obama and Michelle let big hunking trade deficits with like China, everybody, all these people that have slave labor and stuff, and so like people in Nebraska, people all over America, they had they traded with China. They took the slave labor products and paid very slave labor wages to the slave owners, right? And then they took those products and they made millions of dollars in America, or made a lot of money in America. And they are happy buying slave labor products and selling them and making money. But the problem is, uh, it's a trade deficit. A lot of dollars are going to China, but America is not buying China's product. And what these slave laborers are doing with the money is they aren't going to Nebraska, they aren't going to Ohio where it's freezing. Uh, they're coming to California. They're coming to California and they're buying property. They're buying everything. They're using these slave owners are using all the money that they got from slave labor and they're buying stuff and they're making stuff for us expensive. So California is just being hit hard, and so we have to come up with like a way to have our own tariffs. We got to regulate, no slave labor products, and we got to regulate no slave labor owners can come in here and buy like a home, and so we can't buy a home, right? Uh, we have to block them out. And if the federal government says, "Oh, that's something we do," well, this is today, this is California today, and we got to block this out. We got to block out. Uh, we got to put tariffs on products so that, and we got to collect it for California so that we can support a $21 minimum wage, and that would be one way we fight. We fight to keep. We fight to get the $21 minimum wage, and then we fight to keep it. And and you know, we do that. Uh, it looks like we have to do it through the government. It'd be great, but altogether, we got to come together and do it through the government, and but we got to at least stand for the locals. If the way Disney wants to do things, they're going to raise prices, right? They're going to price us out. Uh, they're going to put a cocoon around the Disney parks so it's just rich people who don't have the crowds. These big fat women, these big fat hunking dudes that are rich. They're going to be coming. They're out of state. They're like in Pennsylvania, and they come and travel, and they take up hotels too. They're Americans, and they take up hotels at the Disneyland Hotel, and they'll buy the food. And why we have to pay $20 for a hamburger? It's because of these big fat hunking Americans, with no morals. These big fat hunking women, these big fat hunking men, like in Pennsylvania, they come fly into Disney, and they're willing to pay the higher prices. They're willing to pay higher prices to keep us locals out. And there comes a time they say, hey, uh, if these parks aren't for locals, if we can afford them, then why should we have them? And then right now, that's the situation we're in. We're in a situation where the Disneyland company is saying, hey, we aren't going to build a new hotel. We aren't going to build a new downtown Disney area like we were planning to teach the locals a lesson. We're going to teach the locals a lesson. And I think that's what those red cars and the trolley system that we're supposed to have, same thing. Disney isn't going to build that for us until they teach the locals the lesson. And then, uh, you know, uh, us locals, we got to come together and we got to teach Disney a lesson. And and one way is we got to keep their parks closed until they give us something back in return. And we have a great excuse. There's no cure and there's no vaccine, and we would be saving thousands of people's lives, and we're saving hundreds of thousands of people from getting sick. if we keep the Disney parks closed right now. And if it comes a time where Disney finally bends, it doesn't look like now. It looks like we'll have to wait a year, 2 years, maybe. Hopefully, just wait a year, and they'll soften Disney up enough so that they'll meet our demands. And then, yeah, we'll try to live with it because we get something in return. We'll get something in return to face the risk of getting sick from the Kung flu. And then part of that would be we would be doing all we can to not get sick. But we got, you know, if we don't do that, uh, there's nothing we can do. The union is not strong enough, unfortunately, but we should support them in every way we can. But they just don't have the power. Nowhere in America now it seems like they have unions have a lot of power, but they are down. It's a down situation from them, the way I understand it, and but we do have Governor Newsom, and he does have powers now to uh, executive powers. He could executive power to give a $21 minimum wage, and then maybe we'd have executive powers to say, hey, no slave labor products can come in, or we can put maybe some sort of tariffs on it, not calling it tariffs, calling it something else until a long lawsuit takes it away from us, but maybe by then we could change the law, and the states could do a tariff if they can't do a tariff now, you know. But we gotta make new changes, you know, so that us locals don't get messed up. Right now, uh, do you want to have Disney have a cocoon around the Disney parks, and then we're paying like for the new power lines and stuff that new hotels would bring in? We'd be the new roads, the worn down roads, new signs they need to be replaced or because they're too old and stuff like that. We'd be paying for all of that. The locals would be paying for all of that. We'd be paying for all the stuff they flush down the toilets into the sewers, then wear that down. We'll have to probably make some new sewer lines and stuff like that for those new hotels because they're going to be a lot more, it looks like, than what they have. And so, is that the fate you want? You want a Disney company have a cocoon around the Disney parks? You can't. They'll have a big hunking fence keeping us out. It'll be the first permanent fence that they build, not temporary, but permanent, saying, "Hey, you locals, stay out, and you can come past our fence, sure, if you pay $300 to get into the parks." And how many locals are going to be able to pay that fee? And, we'll be all behind the fence, and we'll be all behind the fence because uh, to hide the fact, in part, all the cheap labor that they imported, and it's not local labor, and so that's another reason how we can't get up to $300 to buy a ticket to get into the parks. See, it's all the it's a hard fence, a hard fence of opportunity, and this big hunking wall. The first permanent hard wall that they ever make will be to keep us locals out, but not when it comes to paying for the roads, paying for the power lines, paying for the new lights, paying for new signage or whatever. We pay for all of that, and guess what? It's our stupid city will be taking money from the like from Disney. They'll be taking money from us, and they'll be spending it on advertisement for uh, in the international jet set to come to Disneyland. They'll be taking money from us to advertise for the Disney company. Oh my gosh, it's just awful. If if we gotta demand that our city government stop helping Disney like in advertising, and take all those millions of dollars and start building the trolley system or a transportation system that's fun, that's like a ride to Disneyland, and that would be and they make for a lot of people, if they made that ride carless, that help them a lot. And but you know, woke has made them broke, and you know, and you know what Disney's reply is? They have YouTubers saying things like, "Oh, we aren't gonna talk about that toxicity." You know, they're gonna talk about their woke characters. They're gonna talk about their woke stories, but on their YouTube sites, it's gonna be like pure advertisement for the Disney products, and then, but uh, on the side, let's see, and because any criticism, oh, that's toxicity, and we don't mess with any toxicity at all. We're not negative, we're positive. And oh my gosh, it's just a dream world for a Disney marketer. This Star Wars Meg website or whatever. Uh, but yeah, that's my opinion. And then the rumors are, uh, it's she might even be an actress, and just acting like she's a YouTuber. That's some of the rumors that I've heard, and it's all a Disney production. But it could be just a person who really thinks who wants to make it in the business. But it's all she's saying everything Disney wants, and she's getting paid well for it too. Uh, so again, that you heard it here first from me. Remember, Star Wars Meg is the rumor has it is a total Disney company production. Uh, you heard it here first from me. Remember that. With later something breaks, okay? But again, and it helps if you subscribe and then view all of my videos, all the way through. And I hope you enjoy the videos all the way through. And like my favorite YouTuber says, if you did not enjoy it and you made it this long, thank you so long for hanging in there. uh, and again, you know, uh, uh, it's this is something about Disney uh, taking on line and on YouTube, essentially misrepresenting what someone is on YouTube as their own thing, but they're representing it as something that's sort of like a line, you know, and it just shows the heart of Disney. It's the heart of the beast that we're fighting. And if you don't think we have to use these park closures as a weapon against Disney, uh, just think of how bad Disney is. Just think of all that they want to do to us. And it looks like, you know, you would make the decision to use these park closures as a weapon for good. And it's something that fell into our hands, and let's use it right, okay? And then we don't want to do anything that gets anybody sick or killed, and 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 that's honestly, uh, this is an honest thank you to our governor of the tens of thousands of people he saved from getting killed, and the hundreds of thousands of people that he saved from getting hurt. Uh, California is not like other states. You can't, in many ways, you can't compare us to Florida or anything because we have a lot of people who have pre-existing conditions, and they don't know what this kung flu is going to do to them. But there's a lot of evidence that says it could be a death sentence, and a lot of people are scared, and to say something is like it's so foolish of these people that say, "Oh, it's a hoax and it doesn't exist." I tell you, I did get the kung flu, and it was the worst thing I ever had, and I'm still dealing with it, trying to get in shape, and it's been months, and it's something that if a worker got it, they would have a very hard time holding on to their job because they maybe have to work they miss so much in sick days. It's just this is just a special situation, and Disney and these dirty companies are going to say, "Hey, stop unemployment benefits. You're only exacerbating the problem." Well, that's not true. Uh, if we have unemployment benefits through this whole pandemic, we can smooth it over for. We can strengthen our workers. We can keep them in a position, a good a bargaining position to get even better wages and better benefits. We have to extend the unemployment benefits. It's not a big expense, and it's something that we can make the corporations pay. We can make the businesses pay, and they should, and they pay over time in the future. Uh, it's like right now it's set up like a 7% unemployment tax or something like that. Uh, that that you know all companies pay, and year after year after year. It's not much, really. It's not even 7. I don't know how they get it. They say it's 7%, but then you get a credit, and a lot of people have like 1% or something like that, or depending on your experience. But it's a tax, and it's a tax that's collected every year, and year after year, and they could eventually pay for all of the unemployment benefits that are paid right now, and they could pay for all of the expenses that these small businesses need, like these loans, these some people are calling them bailouts, but they just they're just like help, like unemployment help. Uh, Unemployment benefits are to help workers get through this bad time. We give help to businesses to get them through this bad time, and then it's all paid for later through like unemployment benefits or through regular taxes. So in the future, so it wouldn't it's not that much compared to the whole budget, and it would be something. It's a great expense, and it keeps uh, the workers strong in a strong negotiating position. Help the union, help all the workers, and again, to get towards our big five goal. Our big five goal is a $21 minimum wage. Disney has to lower prices on their tickets and on their products. They have to provide a trolley system. They have to provide great expensive live entertainment, and they and they have to bring in the new hotels in the downtown Disney with the way we want it, and we're going with those five goals. Maybe we could add to it, maybe we can subtract to it when it comes down to negotiating the final deal. Maybe we can subtract from the big five or whatever, but we, we have some power by keeping the parks closed, and well, if we do open them, we'll be we'll be compensated for facing the kung flu. We'll have benefits already, and to help us. We'll be paid to face the kung flu, and then we'll do all I can to make sure it doesn't come in contact with people. If you don't come in contact with the kung flu, you don't get it. So even if it came down to we got a negotiated deal and we have to open up the parks, we can take precautions so that still nobody gets sick, and I tell you, you know, uh, we don't we don't want to open the parks just because some big fat ass girl or some big fat ass guy says, "Oh, I'm crying, I'm crying, I'm crying. So please open up the parks, okay?" And then they go, and then Disney's line says, "Oh, think about the workers." I tell you, Disney was really thinking about the workers when they screwed them out of those healthcare benefits by making them part-time workers, right? Yeah, they think real highly of workers. You know, uh, they are the they a while back they were screwing workers by importing Asian workers before. They are firing expensive Disneyland employees in America, and they're importing cheaper uh, uh, Asians. This is not Right now, what they're doing right now, importing cheap Asian workers, is not uh, has been done before. And yeah, uh, think about the workers. Yeah, these fat ass people, these rich fat ass people think about the workers. They weren't thinking about the workers before. We're thinking about the workers now. The people who are trying to open up the parks correctly, open up the California correctly, are trying to think of the workers. They try to. Governor Newsom is trying to think of how to keep them alive and keep them from getting sick, and where and now I believe we should add on to that we should make sure they get the proper wage rate of $21 per hour, minimum wage, locked in, so they can't be cheat. Disney can't import workers and cheat us out of it, and then uh, it's something. It's a wage rate that just barely matches, helps people live off of it, and it's something that was in the past, but we got cheated out of it by uh, Obama and Michelle. They let the trade deficit go. They were so stupid. They didn't know it would hurt the workers by making slave owners come and buy houses, and so now they can't buy houses in California. That Obama and Michelle were stupid dumbasses, and uh, uh, printing money. Oh yeah, we'll just print money, and then there's so much money going after one house, it raises the house price again. So these people, they've been printing money, and they've been having trade deficits, and like dumbasses. And like the dumbasses they were, Obama and Michelle were the stupidest dumbasses, the worst president and first lady we ever had, and now we got to do something about it. And the other people, they did something about it through the government of printing money, of having trade deficits approved of, and now we got to get the government to approve of a new minimum wage at $21 an hour, and then uh, if we have to, have a price restrictions on what Disney can do, and maybe even restrictions telling them what to do, of hiring of hiring good expensive live entertainment, and we have to, and it was part of a deal before of having like the red line trolley system. I don't see it ever again, and then the downtown hotels and new downtown area, they were planning on doing that, and then all of a sudden, oh, we're going to teach the locals a lesson by not doing it. So, there are many reasons. Uh, a lot of people use the government, and now look at us workers. We can't afford a home and a house. We can't afford a house. We can't afford a car, all at once in the family, and uh, and it's all because there's a lot of it is because someone else in the government printed money. Someone else in the government got these trade deficits, and so now we got to use the government to get us back to being like how it was, like a wage rate uh, before could buy people a house, buy people a car, and have handle the home expenses, and it's just from one job, and they had like a spouse or partner and the kids and all, and that's how it was, and that's how we're gonna make it again, if we by forcing it with new laws, and if $21 an hour isn't enough to do that, we'll go up till we'll raise it up until it does. Okay, and so we can cover our home, cover our car expenses, cover our family expenses, how it was before, and that we were cheated by people printing money, by people having trade deficits, and just and like some dumbasses like Obama and Michelle just partying and letting it happen, and now workers are in very bad position, and now we have to use big government to make a correction. We got to catch up to what other people have ripped us off of by trading with slave owners and stuff like that. They made millions of dollars, and guess what? We're paying for it. They paid for the trade deficit has so many slave owners, rich, that coming over into California, buying up properties and making it hard for us to buy a property. And then people who they're printing money, they're focusing their money on places that they want to spend money on, like in California, it has a lot of stuff that they'd want to buy. The printing of the money, you don't see it being spent like in Nebraska or whatever. They don't see the what's wrong with printing money, but we do, because it makes everything so much expensive. So we gotta uh, use the government to get us out of this, to get the worker in a better position, and and uh, and just remember, uh, we're fighting a dirty Disney company, who owns like the Los Angeles Times, the Orange County Register, in my opinion, and who owns, in my opinion, who owns all the YouTubers that were criticizing before, and now Disney has gone even one step further, of creating their own YouTubers, to just say whatever Disney wants them to say, and oh, that's awful. That's something we're fighting, and they think they can get away with it. And they can do this, and they can put propaganda on Star Wars Meg that makes it so, like if people buy their movies and books, their woke movies and their woke books, but no one will. And and try to get the parks open or whatever. I bet they bought other YouTubers trying to do that. There's so many people. It looks like that Disneyland is bought off to get their way, and we just gotta, we gotta get together. We gotta stand together, no matter who we are or who we look like, and fight together, and get our big five. And because it's right, and it used to be before, one person could have a family and a car and a home, and from one job, and we gotta make it again. And part of why is because of printing of the money and the trade deficits. We can't do it now, but we got to come up with new solutions so we can. And we got to do it right away, and in a shocking way, so that we don't suffer anymore, that we have a good time with one person having the job and the family and the car and their home, and we want it now, and the new minimum wage would do that, and it'd be big government, yeah, and that's what our enemies have used: big government to print money, big government to have trade deficits, big government to have a bunch of stuff like our socialist healthcare system, and uh, that's ripping us. That still doesn't rip us. That still is so too costly. We can't afford it, and it doesn't have to be that way. If people, but people are using big government to trick us into situations where, like, doctors and insurance companies and these doctor schools make millions of dollars, and then it's just people who need the health care that pay for it. But again, I digress. But it's big government and big tricks are played against us, and now we need big government. And unfortunately, I've got to tell you, we need big tricks to to get what we want. And one of those things is we got to keep the Disneyland parks closed.